Hallelujah. Giving all glory to the Most High Yahweh, the King of Kings, the Ancient of Days, the Holy One of Israel. Yesterday night was the falling of our new moon, the crescent light, the first visible light of the moon phase after the 2 periods of darkness, which indicated our new month. So today we're here celebrating this great festivity, this great feast, and this great occasion that the Almighty gave us. And it is an occasion that is oftentimes overlooked by many of our people. But this is an important day to the Almighty. And if it's not already, it should be an important thing to us. The Almighty said when we would turn unto Him with all our hearts, all our soul, and all our might, that the Most High would turn unto us, and that He will remember the covenant that He made with our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So in our attempts to turn back to the Almighty Yahweh, we will keep all the laws that Yahweh has permitted us to keep. And the celebrating of the new moon is indeed a law and a statute that was ordained by the Mighty Yah, not only through the books of wisdom, but all throughout the testimony of the scriptures. So hallelujah, let us go ahead and open up our scriptures to the book of Psalms, the 81st chapter. And we will rise and face the east and recite this great psalms in unison. This is Psalms, the 81st chapter. It says, "Sing aloud unto Elohim our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the Elohim of Yaakov. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the Elohim of Jacob. This He ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were delivered from the pots. Thou callest in the time, thou callest in trouble, and I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah, Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel. If thou wilt hearken unto me, there shall no strange God be in thee, neither shalt thou worship any strange God. I am Yahweh thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies, and turned my hand against their adversaries. The haters of Yah should have submitted themselves unto Him, but their time should have endured forever. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee." Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Yah is righteous
Yah is righteous
all the time.
all the time.
So as we see here in the first verse, Asaph, not only the great orchestrator of music, but he was also a prophet. And he saw the visions of the future. In his song, he says, "Sing aloud unto our Elohim, our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the Most High, the Elohim of Yaakov, our Elohim." It says, "Take a song or a song and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with a psaltery." And then it says, "Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed, on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the Elohim of Jacob." This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony, when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. So even in our captivity, as Joseph was deeply in his captivity, sold by his own brothers, Joseph still found his way back to the Almighty by remembering the statutes and laws that Yahweh gave unto Abraham, which was passed to Isaac, and which was even passed to Jacob. So there is never an excuse to why we can't serve Yah, even in our lands that we are captive at. The Most High raised up this man, and he became king. He became sovereign when the odds was against him. But because his heart was steadfast with the Almighty, because he remembered his statutes and judgments, because he never lost his trust in the Almighty raised him up on high. Let us go to the book of Genesis, the first chapter. And before we go to Genesis, the first chapter, we do have a comment from one of our elders that would like to comment on that book of Psalms.
Happy new moon.
Happy new moon. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Psalms, the 81st chapter.
Yes, I figured that out. Coming in the door. Hallelujah. This is right on time. I wanted to comment because I was meditating on this, right, earlier today. And when we were, yesterday we was in Psalm 78, and then I came here to see, because it kind of referenced to Psalms 81. So then when I was looking at I think it was the 5th verse, "This he ordained in yourself for a testimony, when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not." So we all know that this connects with the Passover, right? So I was thinking, and then when we go back up to the top, and he, tells us what to do and gives us instructions here on the 3rd, blow up the trumpet, and he tells us in the new moon. So I'm thinking like, well, the new moon is the 1st. So these are instructions, because when you go back to Exodus, he tells us to, on the 1st of the month, to get the lamb. You know what I'm saying? And kill the lamb and drink, keep it up until, until we get up until this point. To the 9th or the 10th day, he said, to kill it and do what you're going to do with it and cook it. And then here comes the 14th. So then this is where I understood that a language that I understood not. So all of this, starting at the new moon, is leading up to the Passover. You know what I'm saying? On the 5th verse. So I praise y'all for that. That's what I was meditating on earlier. Just really kind of connect the dots. And then I was thinking about, when we always think about I was thinking about the new moon, right? So I was like, so if we seen a new moon last night, that's why people always want to, keep the questions like, well, what makes this the first day if you seen the new moon last night? This is, in this day, you still going to see the new moon, because it's going to be it's still the first day of, of that night. So it's the night, and they say, well, how you going to celebrate a moon in the night? Well, it's the night of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's the night. It's still the new moon, but it's the day, connected with the night. You understand what I'm saying? It's the day. It's the day of the new moon. Although you see the moon at night, it's still the day of the time that you seen it, that night. You know what I'm saying? Still the day and the night.
Hallelujah.
You feel me? Hallelujah.
And when we were in our land, we were able to see the new moon during the evening time.
Exactly.
And even into this day, a lot of the times the new moon is spotted during the evening as well as early in the morning.
Hallelujah.
You can see it early in the morning and the evening time. So one thing we do have to remember, and these are things that we will continue to revisit. We will continue to revisit these things and clarify these things, because if anybody has any opposed opinion or any opposed view or perspective on the way that we should be doing things, all we have to do is pull up the scripture.
Hallelujah.
All we have to do is pull up the scripture, analyze the scripture, and see what we're supposed to see.
Right. Hallelujah.
And another thing, we cannot get day confused with date. D-A-T-E.
Exactly.
The Almighty, He called the light day. So anytime there's light present, there's life, there's hope, there's a day present. So I wanted to turn to the Genesis, the first chapter, the very first verse. It says, in the beginning Elohim created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Yahweh moved upon the face of the waters. And Yahweh said, let there be light. And there was light. And Yahweh saw the light that it was good, and Yahweh divided the light from the darkness. And Yahweh called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And Elohim said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Elohim made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And Elohim called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And Yahweh said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And Yahweh called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called He seas. And Yahweh saw that it was good. And Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the third day. Now whenever we deal with the third day in scriptures, there's always something revealed on the third day. In the book of Joshua, they marched around Jericho for 3 days. I'm sorry? Let's go to the scripture. Let's go to Joshua. Second. Let's go to the second chapter.
I thought you mentioned after 7 days before the wild.
You're right. Yeah, I got it mixed up.
That's what they help me for.
And we're all here to help each other, to become sharper.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpen iron. Look at Joshua 2:12. Actually, look at the first verse really quick so you can be familiar with what we're talking about. Joshua the son of Nun sent out Shittim, 2 men to spy secretly, saying, go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, behold, there came men and hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. So Joshua sent out 2 spies to spy out the land, and they lodged at Rahab's house, who was a harlot. the matter became known. So Rahab the harlot had to hide the men and deceive the people that were looking for these two spies. She blessed Israel, and as a result, she was blessed for that. Look at verse 14. And the man answered her, Our life for yours. If ye utter not this our business, and it shall be when Yahweh hath given us the land that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, until the pursuers be returned, and afterward may ye go your way. And the man said unto her, We will be blameless of thine oath, which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window, which thou didst let us down by, and thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brothers, and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utter this our business, then we will be quit of thine oath which thou hast made us to swear. And she said, According to your word, so be it. So they made an agreement to look out for each other. And she sent them away, and they departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came unto the mountain, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned, and the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, and found them not. All throughout the scriptures, you'll see the testimony of 3 days. And at the end of that third day, something is always revealed. Something always is changed. And even the heathens say 3 is a magic number. Well, when we look at Genesis, the first chapter, the Most High established the earth on the third day. The Most High established what we walk upon every day, what we see and behold every day on the third day of the week. And when we look at the moon cycle, if any of us pay attention to those portions of light, each day waxing and waning, if we pay attention to those days, you will notice a pattern. And that pattern within the moon cycle is that there are 2 periods of dark moons. And in the third phase of the moon, there is a slither of light. Now, yesterday, I said that the new moon would come, right? Tonight it should be spotted, and it was there. See, whether we spot the new moon or not, the new moon is going to do what it's going to do. We can predict our days and still be accurate. We can predict next month's new moon. We can predict the new moon 2 months down from now, 3 months down from now. But the Most High, He always wants to get that eyewitness as well. Because Yahweh is a man of change. He does a lot. He changes things in earth. He himself never changes. But he's an Elohim that implements change. And the Most High even changes the times. He changes the times. Time is a dynamic thing. It's not fixed. So let us go forward. And Elohim said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs, for seasons, for what? Days and years. So right there we see that the sun and moon was created to be a witness for us. The Almighty even said that the covenant of David was like a faithful moon. It's going to abide forever. Now, does the Most High need the moon to calculate his days? Absolutely not. But we do. We need some type of light to let us know what's going on, what the time is. So before the sun and moon was created, the Most High was marking his days. He was marking his days. but they were according to the light periods. So I just wanted to read that. Verse 15, it says, let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Elohim set them in the firmament of the heaven to give what? Light upon what? Where? The earth. See, the third day, the fourth day is dealing with the earth. The first day, the second day, that's dealing with something beyond the earth. The heavens, that has nothing to do with the earth, physically. Spiritually, but not physically. The third day on down, that's earth. That's earth, that's humans, that's animals, that's us. So that's why we look at the moon, which was created before us, to calculate our days. Now, could there be 30 days in every month? In a period of a year, could it be 30 days in those months? Absolutely. It's all throughout the scriptures. But one thing we have to be aware of is that the Almighty changes times. You can even have 6 straight months with 30 days. 3, 4, 5, 6. It changes every year. But we do know that 30 days is the maximum. That's the threshold. That's the threshold. So hallelujah. Enough speaking. We're now about to hear a song from our beautiful wife, Yisrael, after she gives her comment. Go ahead.
My comment comes from, first off, shalom everyone, a happy new moon.
Shalom.
Happy new moon. My comment comes from Psalms 81. And it's coming on verse 13. Oh, that my people have hearkened unto me, and Israel have walked in my ways. Those are emotions. You know, I say, oh man, if only,
Right,
you know,
like a longing feeling.
yeah, like, what if they just would have did this, man, you know. And reading that what comes to mind. Just that, you know how someone had that expression on their face. Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh man. And that also reminds me of Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 20 when the Most High is saying how Ephraim, he said that that's my seed, you know. It said that the Most High bows or moves for him. You know, like, wow. Yahweh got very personal, very deep with that. You know, he said, that's my son. I still love him. You know, and I will have mercy on him. But he was moved for him because of everything that he had to go through. And that verse 13 just reminded me of that. Oh, that my people have hearkened unto me, and Israel have walked in my ways. You know, if we had done that, then we wouldn't be here. And I also had to say, you know, you got to look at things differently as well. Because the Most High gets so much of his glory and his honor with his works, with his handiwork that we were talking about, that we read about yesterday in Psalm 92.
Firmament showeth his handiwork.
Right.
Day unto day utters speech. Night unto night utters knowledge. What do people think that's talking about?
Exactly.
What's uttering speech? What's uttering knowledge? Is it just the blue sky? What is it?
What is it saying?
Well, it's the blue skies, the clouds, it's the sun and the moon. That's Yahweh's greatness. Those are his messages to us.
Right. Yeah. We gotta talk for it. Know what it's saying.
Right. And then the way that he in Deuteronomy 32, we were reading yesterday as well, and it said he thrust us into the hand of the enemy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't sit us there, or he thrust us. You know what I'm saying? And I was just meditating on all of that, and I was just like, wow. Like I was saying, if only we had hearkened, and then the difference is, The Most High will put people through a whole bunch of things where people be like, "Oh, they ain't gonna survive that. There ain't no way they coming out of that." Then when you come out, you give that glory to Yahweh.
That's right.
You know, and then people be like, "Wow, they have an Elohim like that. Let me try that." The scripture say, "Taste and see how good He is." You know, just do that. That's how I'm gonna say hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Anybody else want to give a quick comment before she sings her song? Praise y'all. Let's go ahead and get right into it. And I'm going to do a song myself as well. Hallelujah.
Shalom, shalom, everyone, again. And happy Kodesh. Happy Kodesh.
Joy.
To see the goal and to get there, you have to be strong. You have to persevere.
Gotta walk.
To see Jerusalem and get there, we have to talk about that. To see that great day, you gotta be strong.
You gotta be what?
We have to persevere, and we have to persevere through a lot, and a lot more that's coming.
Yisrael, keep your head up. Yisrael, don't give up. I know sometimes the going on this path can get tough, but you know where you gotta put your trust in. Yisrael, keep your head up. Yisrael, don't give up. Watch yourself and y'all my good sister, cause that's a must. The years smooth it out for you when it gets really rough. I came a long way, yet I have so far to go. A righteous man falls 7 times, so Yahweh, please hold me close. It's a two-way word out there, you know. Oh yeah, I know you know. We have to be the light, so the people know what path to go. The wicked man lying every shot in his people. Cross around the sunset, all they do is fly evil. Calling just the better, bittersweet, they're so deceitful. Purge our industries like we secure like Van Diesel. Stay true to the duty, fly like the eagle. Search the book of God and none of these shall fail you. But you have to stand in that old man, stay true. But you have to stand in that old man, stay true. Israel, keep your head up. Israel, don't give up. I know sometimes the going on this path can get tough, but you know where you gotta put your trust in. Israel, keep your head up. Israel, don't give up. Just watch yourself and down my good sister, cause that's a must. And here's smooth it out for you when it gets really rough. Yeah, we got the righteous Elohim of old. This is wisdom that's worth more than the finest of gold. Now without your hitting, get you understanding. Open up your vision heart and know that He's commanding. Yeah, He smote Pharaoh and all His man. Now the whole world knows the power is in Yah's hands. We have the righteous Elohim of old. This is wisdom that's worth more than the finest of gold. All your lions of Yehuda, let me hear you roar hard. Of the apples standing over us, keeping guard. All your lions of Yehuda, let me hear you roar. Strong daughters that is looking for. We got to show that people put yourselves in righteousness. Put your best foot forward, cause our apologies are the best.
We gotta be strong.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Good to hear that. Yeah. Make sure you sing that next time. I got all about that. I got you. Yeah. Israel playing. Israel, yeah, you gotta keep your head up. Keep it up. Don't give up, Israel. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you. I needed that. I was working I got yesterday. Whoa.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That was beautiful. Y'all enjoy that?
Yes. Yes.
Hallelujah. See, we got some refreshments back there. We got some bananas. What else we got?
We got the little feast.
We got a little feast.
New moon feast.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. This is a feast, so we're supposed to be glad in it
Hallelujah.
and rejoice in it.
Hallelujah.
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 So at this time, my wife wanted to go over Proverbs 22. And we gonna go ahead and let her do that. And then we want to hear from our elders. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Elders. Hallelujah.
Uh-oh.
Hallelujah.
Praise God.
Shalom, shalom.
Oh, shalom, shalom.
Happy New Moon again, everyone. Happy New Moon.
Happy New Moon. Hallelujah.
We know that this whole book is full of goodness. Full of goodness. Full of goodness.
Wait, what Psalms, dear?
Oh, we're doing Proverbs chapter 22.
Oh, Proverbs. Okay.
Get some wisdom for our lives. Our daily walks. That's what, I read the Proverbs. I meditate in the Proverbs because it's good for everyday living. The laws, everything is. But when we get into those Proverbs, it helps you with like real life situations. And it gives you great advice on things that you deal with and go through on a daily basis. So they're very, very great to just read. In the Proverbs, you can read them over and over and over and over again.
Order in the court. Order in the court. Hey, today ain't today.
So we're going to go on ahead and I'm going to start reading.
What's your social security number?
Proverbs chapter 22. The first verse says, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. A good name.
Yes.
A good name.
Good name.
You could have $1,000, 100 million, however much money. You could have as much money. You could be the richest person in the world. But if you got a bad name, that's not gonna do anything for the people. You could win people over with flattery, like we know someone is doing, but a good name. A good name is what you always want to have. Because that good name is not only is it going to be good for you, that's going to follow your children and your children's children. I remember just being a child, and as a young child, someone would come over and visit my aunt, knock on the door and say, oh, I'm so-and-so son.
Yeah.
No, hey, come on in then. Your people, good people. So a good name is, it's great. And then also in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, it tells us that a good name is better than precious oil. And we know how precious oil is. But a good name is more precious than that, yes.
All praises to Yah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm going to get to it. You know what? I had to use that. No, my sister, she used that Proverbs on me, diehard Christian, when I changed my name, right? So she was like, why you change your name? That was our daddy's name. Our daddy had a good name. I said, well, daddy got a good name, a better name.
Right.
The daddy of all daddies.
Right.
That you need to know and find out. Then when I hit her with some scriptures, like Isaiah and different things like that, to show her about a new name.
Right.
And then even a newer name.
Right.
The hexagon,
Yeah.
So, and she brought me to that scripture. So I just wanted to say that. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And then our name means the one that has striven with Elohim and man and prevailed. And prevailed. You know, we walking around here with these slave giving names, and we ain't prevailed in nothing. We ain't you know, we ain't won nothing.
We keeping him rich.
And the slave shop. Giving glory to the true and living Elohim, Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Happy new moon.
Happy new moon.
Yeah, the name, you know, is powerful because when Yah changed the names in the scriptures, once the name was changed, those people were blessed.
Yeah.
And I can attest to the name change because it's like, you know, when you change your name, you got to change your game, so to speak. You got to really live up to the name and represent the name.
That's right.
You know, and the name is powerful.
That's right.
And I know, I mean, before I got the name changed, Yah was blessing me. After the name changed, He's blessing me even more. You know, and that's what He did. When He changed Abram's name to Abraham, then He blessed him.
Yeah.
When He changed Jacob to Israel,
Yeah.
you know, He blessed him.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing.
Hallelujah.
It's a blessing, and it gives Yah the glory because we know that they got together to try to cut the name off
Right.
and destroy it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all the praise and the glory to Yahweh, because that shows I'm representing my Elohim, you know, and thank you, Yah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That's right. That's right. Verse 2. The rich and poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all.
Right.
The maker of them all.
Hello.
And,
Of all things.
and that's so deep because we have these people who are in certain positions, who have a certain amount of wealth, and they look at the poor with disgust.
Right.
You know, no, that's not how you should look at them. In righteousness, that's not how you would look at them. That's not how you would look at them. That's not how the Most High created it to be. Although He did create the rich and the poor, because He had to have that just balance. But for you to look at them like that and to treat them a certain type of way, and that's not right.
But you know, they know who we are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rich. Yeah, they know who we are.
Even amongst Israel, you have some folks who are more wealthier, you know, than the other folks.
Where they at? I need to get with them.
And you know, they'll be like, oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't going over to such and such a house. They live like this or they live. They can be clean. They may not have, everything may not be up to date.
Israel.
They may not have the latest of the latest. I'm just saying there's some people out there that's like that. You know, woe Jacob, dead Jacob, Israel. That's how we do one another. You know, you don't got the latest this, or you don't got the latest of that. You don't have to have that.
We laugh.
You don't have to, you know, you don't have to have that to be someone. And not only that, we know Yahweh deals with the humble. And not saying that if you're rich, you can't be humble. I'm not saying that. However, we know from several testimonies in the scripture. There's also, in the scripture says that a poor man saved the city.
Yeah.
A poor man.
Right.
No one gave him a second thought because he was poor. And then there's also a scripture that says that the poor separated from his friends. Separated from his friends. Like that's deep. That's deep. You won't be too much of a friend if I'm not all up and you don't want to have nothing to do with me. If I'm not up, then you don't want to have nothing to do with me. That's But we seeing that. And we gotta change that. We seeing that. Verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. The prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself.
Okay.
But the simple pass on and are punished. And our people, again, the prudent man knew Yah's laws, did the laws of the Most High, respected, honored his parents, watched well after his children.
He had good sense.
Had good sense, but not today. There's some of us out there, but it's not a whole bunch of us out there that looks to our going and foreseeth evil and hide. A lot of people want to be like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? You know, our people run to fights, run to see a fight. You know, run to all types of evil and whatnot that's going on. And then You know, something done happen to someone, and they're like, oh man, innocent standby. And I'm not saying that, you know, innocent standbys are nosy or when I'm just saying things happen so much. Bystanders, yeah. Things happen, thank you. Things happen so much. Anytime evil popping out, I'm gonna hide myself. Because I don't want to be up in that type of environment, in that situation at all. And sometimes people just go on, like, ooh, let me run and see what's going on. And all heck broke loose. And then somebody done got hurt.
Yeah.
When all you had to do was just go the other way.
I praise y'all. To comment on that, and that's one of the 6 things that Yahweh hate.
Yes.
You know, when your feet run
Yes.
swift to run to mischief, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I thought about that one day when something was going on my street. I had just moved over there, but not too long. And there was a big fight in the street. So I'm looking out the door like, what's going on? And I wanted to, and I went out and I started to walk. I think I got past the tree where I live in, and I thought about it. You know, you need to go back inside. You know, because that's what Yahweh hates, and that's just what I thought about. That was one of the things he hates. Your feet swift to go mischief. And I was thinking about when you was talking about prudent. And why do you think Yahweh say when he say mark the prudent man? The perfect man, just either or, a man with good sense, because they hard to find. That's why he say mark them. You know, you ain't going to have too many marks, you know, because they hard to look for. So you keep up with them, you doing good. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. You
That's
know
what
about that?
I'm saying. That's why he say mark them, you know, because you ain't going to be able to make too many special.
Verse 4. By humility and fear of Yahweh are riches and honor and life. By being humble, by fearing the Most High. That's how you begin to live. That's when you're really living. And people are here talking, I'm living my best life. You ain't living your best life if you're not humble. If you're not fearing the Most High. You're not living, you existing. And I heard that from a great elder. You know, you're not living, you'll just be existing in the world. Not knowing your place, not knowing what's going on, not knowing what to do. Only with the fear of the Most High and being humble will you be able to truly live and gain riches. And gain riches. It's a scripture that says that the Most High, He give us the strength to get our riches.
Get well.
To get our wealth, right. And
Pray that every morning. Thank
and you need to know who the man in charge is. Who blessing you with all this.
Yeah.
You know, we, our people, give glory and honor to everybody else. There's a scripture that say, give credit to him that deserves it if it's in your power. We're supposed to be giving that to the Most High all day, every day. You know, I was thankful to wake up this morning. Because that's riches to me. That gives me another day to get it right. To do something new. You know, to do it different. To this new moon service. Different. I like to say I'm getting brownie points with the Most High. You know, I'm scoring brownie points. That's the sacrifice of righteousness, and that's what we need to be striving to do. You know, we need to be striving to do that. Hallelujah. Verse 5 says, thorns and snares are in the way of the forward. He that doth keep his soul shall be far from them. Far from them. Like the scripture says, don't make friends with people that's going to entice you to go and do against the law. You don't need to be friends with them. They lead you away from the Most High, not to him. If you want to surround yourself with somebody that got some common sense, some wisdom, that want to live, that want to do right. Overall, just do right. You know, because in today's society, the people that want to do right, a lot of folks, that people get to them and feel that peer pressure. So they feel like, oh, okay, well, even though this ain't got nothing to do with me, I'm going to hop in the car and take the ride anyway. I'm going to be backseat. That don't mean nothing, because if that car wreck, then your life in danger. So that doesn't mean anything. So just stay far from him. Verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart. And I want to say hallelujah for that. My personal testimony, you know, because I feel like with the school situation that's going on right now, a lot of children are at home. This is the law they need to be learning first. You know, it's not, I don't have anything against science and math and all that great stuff, but this is our history. this is what we need to be doing to get, not the American dream, you know what I'm saying, but the Most High's dream. You know, this is what's going to give us everlasting life. This is what's going to give us more than a house in the picket fence. You know, this right here is going to give us everlasting life. And if we know the things that are good in this book, if we lay them up here in our heart, we can pass it on to our children. So when they get older, they learn to appreciate the Most High. Yeah. They learn to know, okay, the Most High, He done woke me up, gave me food, gave me shelter. You don't need a 70-inch TV. You don't need the latest car, a big old iPad. You don't need all of those things. That was our distractions, really. You know? And I'm not saying that they're bad or you shouldn't have. I'm not saying that, but those could be distractions, and that could lead us away from the Most High. Now, in moderate, you know, okay, but just to be having knowledge and get with this program. Learn these. The Most High said we should speak of this loud 4 times a day. When you rise up, when you on out your way, when you lay down, and when you when you walking about, So we supposed to, this word should be in our mouth constantly, all the time. Like I said, meditate on my word day and night. Day and night, all day, every day. And to teach our children, I'm saying that because we have been failing our children, honestly. We've been failing them, and we haven't been fair to them. At some point, we have to try to break a generational curse. At some point, we have to say, okay, something got to change. Something has to change. Let me try something new. And I'm going to say praise God because I'm trying something new. I don't want to be just another statistic. And then, you know, I remember meeting someone years ago before I even knew about Yahweh. But that was the path that they took. And I was like, ooh, but I dismissed it. But Yahweh brought it right back to me, and I want to praise Him for that. But I was like, so what you're supposed to be doing this on this day, why you ain't there? You know, and I remember saying, like, you ain't about that life for real. I remember saying that. And you know, just where I am today, and it's a sad thing to see so many children who are being neglected. And who, you know, it's not fair to them because they want what's good for them too. They may not make all the right choices. That's why the Most High tells us, or in King Solomon wrote in the proverb that we should drive out the foolishness from a child. We in charge of that child. I used to tell my nieces and them, you the child, I'm the what? And they said, the adult. That's right. I'm the adult. You know, you're not going to run over me. And that's what we have today, and it's sad. Our parents, and a lot of our parents had children that were young, but that gives you no excuse to you could be your child's friend too, or whatever, but you're a parent first. And we have to remember that as Israel, that we parents first. The Most High gave us a charge. He gave us a precious seed, and He wants them back a certain way. You know, and that's just, you know, how I feel about it. Verse 7, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Ain't that the truth? We all understand that one. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. Because we always say you reap what you sow. If you're out there planting bad seeds, you're going to reap something bad, sour. Right. You know, it ain't going to be no good. So we got to get it together. He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. And I would like to say just real quick a comment on that. My mother, growing up as a child, she didn't have the best of the best, or she didn't have everything. But I don't care what it was. If she saw someone who needed something, she would take her last and give it to them. She never denied anybody anything if she had it. You know, and that's something that as a child I didn't quite understand. Like, if you don't have it, but you're giving it, you know. And then as I got older, I started blessing her because she taught us to do the same thing. You know, if you could give. Don't worry about any of that. The Most High gonna bless you. He'll give it right back too. She always say, He'll give it right back. You know, and that's wonderful because He gives it right back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you like, whoa, He don't bless me with all this. I can't close the window. I can't shut my door. I got so much. Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Uh-oh. Yeah, strife and reproach shall cease. That's like getting rid of that bad apple that's going to spoil the whole bunch. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. And I, okay, go ahead.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So that's one of my favorite proverbs, actually. And I was actually just thinking of that proverb when you had mentioned, he that has a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he deals his bread to the poor. And both of those scriptures relate to each other. A person that has pure lips is a person that, has a righteous mind. They got a righteous state of mind. They're not out looking for necessarily, the bad sides of you. And I done experienced, both sides of this, just dealing with people. You got one person that always see like the negative side of things, right? And then you got other people who see the negative side, but say, you know what, it ain't really no use in me actually really constantly bringing this thing up. What can I actually do about this situation to change it? How can I positively reinforce this person, even though they may not be perfect? When you do that, you speak life into people. You speak life into people, and that's what the power of the tongue. That's the power of the tongue that the Almighty gave us. And I think that's what we need as a people. Don't get me wrong, we need to rebuke, but we all know we messed up. You know what I'm saying? We all know we broken toys. We ain't no good for real. But however, more than anything, we need healing. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how it brings me back to King David. When Saul had that evil spirit on him. Y'all remember when he had that evil spirit on him? Saul said, look, bring me somebody who playeth well with the hand. Bring me a cunning harp player. And they found David. And David was a cunning harp player. That music, and if you know anything about the harp and the piano, two of the most melodic instruments. Those instruments actually took away his evil spirit. Something soft, something pure. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with conversation. It's the same thing the way you carry yourself with people. Don't nobody want to be around anybody that got an attitude all the time or that's negative. You understand what I'm saying? People want to be around people that's fun to be around, that's joyful, that's happy. You know what I'm saying? That actually lifts and boosts your spirits up when you're around them. So I love that proverb. He that has pureness of lips. What does it say?
He that has pureness of lips,
the king shall be his friend.
Yeah.
Is that the end of it?
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
And they got me thinking about Daniel. Daniel stood before many kings. He stood before many kings. Okay. I got a question, so I'll address it. Yeah. I'll let you come back up in a minute. We have a question that we'll answer here shortly. I'm going to continue to do a few more proverbs before I get down. Praise Yah. The eyes of Yahweh preserve knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. That's a blessing in itself right there. Especially that first half, the eyes of Yahweh preserve knowledge. Because that's what we need to keep going.
Shouldn't the eyes of Yah preserve knowledge?
Yeah. Did you want to comment on that?
No,
I was just about to get to that. We are people learn in several ways, right? We learn by hearing, we learn by seeing, and we learn with, by hands-on things. And there's a scripture that says, wisdom cries out in the street. That same wisdom that was with the Most High at the beginning of time when he created the world and everything. That's the same wisdom that's been preserving mankind. It's the same wisdom that was with that the elder man when he saved the city, the poor man. He had that wisdom. That's the same that the Most High preserved for the few that take hold of it.
That's what we supposed to be getting.
Exactly. Yeah. And he overthrows the words of the transgressor. As you were saying, our tongues are very powerful. If you have that negative thinking, if you putting that on up out there, nah. We need to set that to the side and do something that's positive.
Yeah, it's healthier for you.
Healthier, yeah. Yes. Because
Spiritually.
exactly. I was just exactly spiritually. The slothful man says, "There is a lion without. I shall be slain in the streets." And we know lazy people come up with all kind of excuses on why they can't get something done. Why they can't get something done? Make a million excuses.
It's raining outside.
It's raining outside.
It's too hot outside.
My shoes don't match. It's so hot outside.
I ain't got an umbrella.
I don't got no umbrella. We make excuses to do a lot of things. We make excuses for a lot of things. That if you just do it, get it done. You know, go and get it done. You spending all day complaining, and the whole day done passed you up, and you ain't accomplished nothing. And all you had to do was get it done. Our people wonderful at improvising. You know, we want to just make excuses to be lazy. You know, we do that with the Most High. With his laws, we can't keep the Shabbat here. We can't keep this law. We can't be like, yes, you can. Quit making excuses. You just don't want to be about that. You don't want to be about it. Don't, go your way. Don't come over here and be smiling and kicking in my face. For what? You ain't gonna stand before me. You ain't standing before me. Exactly. Hallelujah. The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of Yahweh shall fall therein.
That's true.
Shall fall therein. They got me thinking of sometimes, people in the world, they have these big houses, the new cars, bank accounts full, and they're like, oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. How you know the Most High didn't give you all that just to sit you down? That's going to get you up out of his way because you ain't about his business. With these women, I remember a brother once told me, he was like, Yahweh probably gave us this law to just be with our sisters because he know that these other nation of women are very attractive to us. Or very, that's what we want. And so he tries us with women. And I remember saying, so what you going to do? You going to pass or you going to fail that test? What you going to do? Of course, the Most High, we had, in the scripture, there were several different men who were married to women of other nations. But a lot of those women praised the Most High. They served the Most High. And now, we had Zipporah, Moses' wife, Boaz, yes, Ruth, I was going to say Boaz, yeah. We had some women that was for the Most High. But,
The Midianite woman, Moses,
yeah, Zipporah, yeah. And even the one sister who was the harlot, Rahab, she was for the Most High's people. Even though she didn't want to have harm done to her or her family, in her heart she knew, okay, let me help these folks. These are the Most High people, and they're about that word. They're about his business. Foolishness, here we go. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Oh, yeah.
Far from him. I remember being a child doing things, and my mother not necessarily correcting me all the time physically with a whooping, just by some words. Shoot, my daddy would yell at me, I'd be full of tears. With no physical punishment. But that's the power of a father, though. The father will talk to you, you'll be full of tears.
And Yahweh said, be a child. And he said, be a child. They shall surely not die.
Yeah. Physical correction right there.
Yeah, he said they should surely
Yeah,
not die.
that's in Proverbs 23.
That's right.
That's it. I think verse 12 or something like that. Somewhere around there, or 23. It's in there.
Don't use this.
He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. So there's a lot of that going on. There's the scripture that said a poor person of poor is like a sweeping rain.
Hallelujah.
That does that.
That's true.
17, bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. He told us to do two things. He said, bow down your ear. 3, and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. Apply means to do something. You know, exactly, do something. When you learn something, okay, let me apply this here, what I just learned, let me apply this method, see how it's going to work.
That's right.
Not just, oh, let me just read it, okay. And just keep going on. Just read it and keep going on. There's a young brother, and I know when we all come into the knowledge of the Most High, we all get zealous, right? And some of us take that and become, or zealousness becomes pride. And then we become arrogant. And then we want to boast about everything that we know. And sometimes when folks get like that, they begin to sound foolish. Because sometimes you get like that, the Most High swipe their understanding. Oh, I gave it to you. And this is how you behaving with it. So I'm going to go and get that back. You know? And that happens a lot with our people. And that's just a young man in particular. And at first I was like, oh my goodness. But now I really hurt for him. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, you had it. And you was zealous. But when you done turned it up into something else, now look at you. You know, I remember my grandfather used to always say, the older you get, the dumber you get. And in some cases, at some times, that applies. You know.
Well, you say make yourself a baby.
Yeah, make yourself a baby. Exactly. Exactly. Verse 18. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within thee. Thou shalt withal be fitted in thy lips. Talking about his words. In that verse 17, them words of wisdom. Keeping it in you. The law of kindness. And he's going to say that they trust may be in Yahweh. I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. Hallelujah. Yes, he has. Can I get hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
He done made it known to us, and we know it.
He told us.
Exactly. And that's why we pursuing righteousness. Because we know. Because he done showed us. He done had somebody go by the way and throw the name out there, Yahweh. You know, you're like, that's interesting. I never heard that before. Let me see what that's about. Like I said, test and see how good he is. Give 4. Give me 3 plates. Give me 4, 5 plates. I want the buffet. Have not I written to thee excellent things and counsels and knowledge, that I might make thee know the certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that send unto thee. Rob not the poor, because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate, for Yahweh will plead their cause, and spoil the soul of those that spoil them. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with the furious man thou shalt not go. Because you don't never know what be in people's hearts, what be in people's minds. If he angry when you're mad and you're making friends with, that's not the type of person you want to be around and being friends with. Because you know they liable to blow up at any given time. I remember watching this comedy, and this guy was saying how he had went to a his son's birthday party, and he said his friend was with him. And he told him, he said, yeah. He said he leaned over and tapped him like, yeah, just to let you know, I got that fire on me. And he said he looked at him like, we at the kids' party. You know, but that's just to go to show the mentality that he has. You know, And he went on different scenarios, saying them being at different places. And he keeps saying, hey, I got that on me. That mind can be dangerous. That mind can be dangerous. He goes on to say, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Stay away from him. You know what I mean? You know good. And I always say this, if you don't care about your salvation, you ain't gonna care about mine. You're not gonna care about mine, you don't care about your own. Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for death. Yeah, don't do that. We all, some of us have learned the hard way and not to do it. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee? Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. And that, when I read that reminds me of Leviticus. When he gave the law about the land. You know what I'm talking about? In Leviticus, I believe chapter 25.
What did it say?
Um,
Talking about the Jubilee?
when our fathers have a certain amount of land, right? And if they were to pass on, then we don't take that land. Or now on half of that back. That's why the proverb says, remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set.
That's talking about the old path of our forefathers.
Right, but I'm talking about literally in Leviticus, or let me see if I can find that.
If you can't find it,
25.
Yes, chapter 25. Just read over it. And just read over it. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I'm going on. Verse 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before the kings. He shall not stand before a mean man. If you about your business, that means you climbing up. You climbing up the ladder. And shall not stand before a mean man. A lot of mean people, or I'm not saying this, some people that are mean or bitter or whatever, or may become like that because they've passed up great opportunities. And they say, man, I could have did that, I could have did this. I could have did that, I could have did this. And because, as we read earlier, because they're being lazy and making excuses, they didn't get anywhere. And now here is decades come, and you send your colleagues or whatever, they doing this, and you ain't doing nothing. And now you got an attitude with them. Why? You the one who wanted to be lazy. You the one who was making all them excuses. Still in the same place. We as Israel, we have to take them and say, okay, I want to be better. I want my spirit to feel better. I want to feel better on the inside. So let me not be lazy. Even in the word of the Most High, we can't be lazy and sluggish. I remember talking to someone, we were talking about, just how people say, oh, I want to take a break from class. I want to take a break from, whatever it is you want to take a break from. Well, how would we feel if the Most High decided to take a break from us in a time when we needed him most? We calling on the Most High, we calling on him. Hey, I'm on break. How do we truly feel? But yeah, we think it's okay to take a break from him and his word. That's not okay. That's not okay. Like it says here, see thou a man diligent in his business. This is our business. This is our business. He shall stand before kings. I want to stand before the mighty God one day. I would love to stand before him one day.
You will.
He shall not stand before me. I don't got no time to be standing before no Nabals.
Right.
I don't want none of them. Let me stand before the Most High. Let me stand before King David. Nabal, you stay over there somewhere. My works is going to keep me far from you.
Exactly.
But keep me in the sight of the righteous.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I was going to comment. I wanted to see if I got this 26, some clarity on this 26. Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are surety of deaths. So what does that mean? Like, what would you think that mean? Like,
Like co-signing?
shaking hands on a deal, and then you don't You sure it
Like if I wanted a car and I'm like, ooh, I'm coming to you. Can you please give me this car? And then you done co-sign the car for me. You know, I got the car, but I ain't giving you no money. But it's your name on the line.
So strike hands, shake.
Yeah.
Okay. And then don't be on your word.
Yeah, exactly. Because we
I guess strike hands. When I say strike hands, you know, I'm pretty sure he meant shake.
yeah.
Opposed to, you know,
Shake hands,
blow.
yeah. Word, like back in the day, our people were honest people. We were honest people back then. Like it's a lot that says, give the servant back his clothes. You know, this is all he got. And today we don't do that. You know, we're not honest today. Our fathers were honest. That's why at the beginning when they were talking about that good name, it's rather to be chosen than great riches. That good name. That's what we're fighting for. A good name. I know I am because I got a child now. Even things are different now. I'm just saying things are very different now. I want a good name. If nothing else, I want to be able to leave that good name. If I don't leave her, you know, everything in the world, she got a good name. Oh, you so-and-so's daughter. You taken care of. Like David when Jonathan passed away. Remember Jonathan had a I believe it was his grandson, and or his son. I believe it was his grandson though. Anyhow, King David heard about the little brother and said, "Bring him in my house. He gonna live with me. He gonna eat at my table." That good name Jonathan had, that friendship, that bond that they had. You know that speaks words. That speaks volumes in itself. Hallelujah.
I want to say one more thing, praise God. And Yahweh says, "It's my people," and I always say this to people sometimes, not everybody, but you know when I'm talking to somebody. And Yahweh said, "It's my people which are called by my name." So if it's time for Yahweh to come get us, I ain't gonna know you. You know, if you ain't called by His name, so He ain't gonna know. You know, you called by something else, so you ain't His people. So you know, I was thinking about that. We need to, you know, that we need to meditate on it and think about that too. As far as scripture, you know, my people are called by my name. You know, He tell us to do 3 things. You know, He said, surname yourself. What He say? Call yourself. Call yourself so that, you know, everybody calling you that. Surname yourself. Your surname is your last name. And then subscribe. You know, He ain't mean just doodle with a pen. You know, He meant to make it legible. You know, so, you know, it's a lot of things we need to, you know, consider.
And I was thinking about that, right? Because the Most High even said, with our actions, you know, even like the people of other nations, in Isaiah 56, they got other names. But with their actions, the Most High know you for me. You know, like when Moses came down from the mountain with the law, and they all were Israel. But you had some that wasn't for the Most High. So He told them, He said, take your sword and slay your brother. You know, so, you know, we need to, that is good. Our name, most importantly, our actions. We have to do what He say. Because if you doing what the Most High say, action. He don't care if you ain't got no name. You belong to Him if you doing what He say. If you keeping His law, statutes, His commandments, His precepts, you belong to Him. So hallelujah again. Happy Kodesh. Happy Kodesh. Happy New Moon. I'm going to bring the Kenyan back up. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That was some good wisdom to get. It's always good to stay in those proverbs. Get that self-correction. Because if we're not taking heed to our spirits, we will not stand before the Almighty when He come back to get us. So Proverbs, namely Proverbs, gives us the details, the full details on how to keep Yahweh's laws. And that's why I love the Proverbs. So we had a question. Somebody asked, what is the new moon?
And there was another part to it?
Yeah. What is the new moon? Is that when there's no moon in the sky? Well, just to answer that quickly, there's always a moon in the sky.
Just can't see it.
You just can't see it.
Right.
According to science, the sun, I believe it's the sun that blocks the moon. I'm not sure how accurate that is. But we know that the moon, each and every day, displays a certain portion of light, right? Yesterday we saw the crescent moon. Tonight we'll see an even further moon. A moon that's beyond the crescent. So is the new moon when there is no moon in the sky? Absolutely not. If there is no moon in the sky and you can't see it, you cannot call a new month. You cannot call a new moon. That moon has to be visible to you or to someone else across the world. And that's why it's good to have multiple people that's looking for the moon from different locations. So we can be able to confirm, because it's only one moon in the sky. It's only one moon in the sky. We all share that, just at different times. And like I said before, when we were in our land, we seen the moon a lot earlier. So depending on where you're located at in the world, is what time you will see this new moon. But just to answer your question really quickly, the new moon is let's go to Psalms 90. Psalms 91, or actually 81, Psalms 81. And we went over this earlier. And this is not going to take a lot of time at all. But when you study line upon line, you will come to the realization about this new moon and what it was actually for. Verse 1 through 5, he says, sing aloud unto our Elohim, our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the Elohim of Jacob. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in what? In the new moon. So the question is, what is this new moon? Well, the new moon, we know for sure it's visible. Let's go to 1 Samuel 17th chapter. The moon has a cycle. A cycle is a season. A season is an appointed time that something has to have dominion. And this is one of the most important scriptures about the new moon, because this tells you exactly what it is. This tells you what phase it is. We know for sure that it's not the dark moon. Actually, the 21st chapter. Excuse me. Yeah, the 21st chapter. 20th chapter. Look at verse 5. Now this is point 1. So if anybody wants to know about the new moon and the concept of the new moon, this is the first point right here. It says, and David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is what? The new moon. Now did Jonathan say tomorrow possibly is the new moon? Tomorrow the new moon might come. No, Jonathan knew that the new moon was coming. So as I said before, we can track our new moon. We can track our new moons. We can track our new months. So that's point 1. The new moon is an appointed time that happens every single month. It's a cycle. And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon. And this is your king, the King David that everybody talk about, right? I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. Now, why did he say I should not fail to sit with the king at meat? Because this is the law. It's going to look kind of funny if you representative of the Almighty and you're not showing up at new moon. Especially if you're in the position that King David was at that time. He was Saul's armor bearer. He was a harp player. He was a man of valor. He was a servant of Saul. So if he ain't show up, a man of that rank, we got to question, is the Almighty really with him, or is it some type of other situation that came up? But notice his dedication toward the Almighty. He said, I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. Now, how many of us are actually saying that in our hearts? And when we look in the room, not many, right? But this is what your father David said. And I should not fail to sit with the king at meat, but let me go, that I may hide myself in the field until the 3rd day at even. This is another point. If thy father at all miss me, then say, David earnestly asked leaving me that he might run to Bethlehem, his city, for there is a yearly sacrifice there for all the family. If he say thus, it is well, thy servant shall have peace. But if he be very wroth, then be sure that evil is determined by him. Therefore thou shalt deal kindly with thy servant, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of Yahweh with thee. Notwithstanding, if there be in me iniquity, slay me thyself. For why shouldest thou bring me to thy father? And Jonathan said, far be it from me, for if I knew certainly that evil was determined by my father to come upon thee, then would I not tell thee? Then said David to Jonathan, who shall tell me? Or what if thy father answer thee roughly? And Jonathan said unto David, come and let us go out into the field. And they went out both of them into the field. And Jonathan said unto David, O Yahweh Elohim of Israel, when I have sounded my father about tomorrow, any time, or the 3rd day, and behold, if there be good toward David, and I send not unto thee, and show it thee, Yahweh do so, and much more to Jonathan. So Jonathan said, O Yahweh Elohim, if I know that evil is determined against David, and I don't tell him about it, let the evil come upon my head, Yah. But if it please my father to do thee evil, then I will show it thee, and send thee away, that thou mayest go in peace. And Yahweh be with thee, as he hath been with my father. And thou shalt not only, while yet I live, show me the kindness of Yah, that I die not, but also thou shalt not cut off thy kindness from my house. How long? Forever. No, not when Yahweh hath cut off the enemies of David, everyone from the face of the earth. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let Yahweh even require it at the hand of David's enemies. And Jonathan caused David to swear again, because he loved him. For he loved him as what? As he loved his own soul. And that's what we commanded to do. To love each other as what? As we love ourselves. And we know some Hebrews. We love ourselves. We love ourselves dearly. So Yahweh commanded us to love your brother, love your sister like you love yourself. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is what? The new moon. And thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be what? Empty. And when thou hast stayed, how many days? 3 days. Told you about those 3 days. 3 is one of Yahweh's favorite numbers. Then thou shalt go down quickly, and come to the place where thou didst hide thyself when the busyness was in hand, and shalt remain by the stone Ezel. And I will shoot how many arrows? 3 arrows on the side thereof, as though I shot at a mark. And behold, I will send a lad, saying, go find out the arrows. If I expressly say unto the lad, behold, the arrows are on this side of thee, take them, then come thou, for there is peace to thee, and no hurt, as Yahweh lives. So the arrows was the marker to let David know, while Jonathan was at his castle, or wherever he was at, to let David know if evil was determined on it. But if I say thus unto the young man, behold, the arrows are beyond thee, go thy way, for Yahweh has sent thee away. And as touching the matter which thou and I have spoken of, behold, Yahweh be between thee and me forever. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was what? Was come. The king did what? So that very day the new moon spotted, what did he do? He celebrated. And the king, that's why I said, when we were back in our land, as soon as that moon was seen, that trumpet was blown. We didn't wait the next day to celebrate. We celebrated that day. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come. So how can the new moon come if you can't see it? That just kills the whole theory of the dark moon. If that new moon come, here in this scenario, it came physically, meaning it has motion to it, right?
He seen it. He said, behold, they seen it the first night.
They seen it.
Yeah.
They witnessed it.
Yeah.
The moon had motion.
Yeah.
And when it came, the king sat down to eat meat. So, no dark moons. Dark moons 2 times during out the month. 2 times during out the month. That's not a new moon, that's not a new month, that's not a new day. There is no light period in it, and if there is no light period in it, there cannot be any day in it. Especially a new day. Yes.
Also, Psalms. Hallelujah. Also, in Psalms chapter 104, verse 19, it says, he made the moon for appointed times. He made the moon for appointed times. The sun knows it's going down. I just want to comment on that. Because that's what the moon is. It's like today we got clocks and watches. And you got clocks everywhere, we got watches everywhere. That's what the moon is. It's our time. It's our time.
It's our time, exactly. And time was created when light was established. So when we look at the moon, we see that time is nothing more than a measurement of light, a measurement of days. So that's the main point. And the king sat upon the seat. Did you have a comment?
No, I said I will.
Hallelujah.
I said that's the main point.
And the king sat upon the seat as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall, and Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had befallen him. He is not clean, surely he is not clean. Go ahead.
And we have another comment. That Yah is consistent with all his signs.
All his signs, every single one of his signs, he is consistent with it. They follow the same pattern.
And not only with the signs, but with life. You know, things always budding, a new year, new life, new days. The crescent, and then when it's new, like the crescent right now is gonna be kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by next week it's gonna be bigger. Then when we get to the middle of the month, that's when you got your full moon. When you're in the middle of the month, that means even if you don't have a calendar, between like a 14th, 16th, whatever, it's gonna be full.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look up in the sky, you know it's a full moon. So okay, we're in the middle of the month.
Yes, ma'am.
And you could tell by the weeks according to the crescent of the moon.
Hallelujah.
So that's why I'm saying you know, the Most High was very that handiwork.
Yes.
You know, putting
Very
it
wise.
in the sky. Because what David tell Jonathan? He said in 3 days. He ain't say meet me back on the third day at 6 o'clock. Because he knew that the day was what? From sunrise to sunset. So we gotta praise God for these wonderful things. These wonderful things that He bring out to us, that He gives to us. That's simple to you if you follow the Most High, if you eager for it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And see, this is something I have to say, right? And this is one of those things that you just learn throughout living life. See, light and darkness work together. Even when we have light here, what do we have? We have shadow, right? The shadow is even present in the daytime. Life and death, they work together. Without death, will we know the true meaning of life? Solomon said, better is it for you to go to the house of mourning. Why?
That's where man lay at the heart.
That's where man lay at the heart. You're going to consider like, man, this dude just died, man. Same thing with the moon. It contains darkness and light in it. Now, which one should we look to count our days? Well, what did the Almighty say? He said, light is day, darkness is night. So which one is to count our days? It's the light periods in that moon. They contain both the shadow pieces and the light pieces. They work together. Just as life and death work together, just as darkness and light work together, it's perfect. And then lastly, go to Song of Solomon, 2:17. And hallelujah, this is our first time actually going live to the world on a new moon festival. And I'd like to thank the elders, Zuriel, the dedicated servants of Yah, who suggested that we should have our new moon festivals again like we used to. And ever since they made that suggestion, we've been having them consistently. So praise the Almighty Yah for what? His servants. Most High said, I shall surely rebuke thy neighbor and what? Not suffer what? Upon him. Sin upon him. So these things, whenever we give corrections about the mighty Yah, this ain't nothing that you should get offended about. Most High said Solomon said the lot parted between the mighty. The law is supposed to stop you in your feet. That's supposed to humble you when you hear that. Songs of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Songs of Solomon 2:14. Actually, look at 12. Who knew the answers could be in Songs of Solomon? A book about love.
Oh, yes.
Look what it says.
2 and 7.
2 and 12. Oh, hold on, wait. Let me see.
12.
You could start from 8. Let's just start at 8. This is going to be our last scripture. It says, the voice of my beloved, behold, he comes leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a roe or a young hart. Behold, he stands behind our wall. He looks forth at the windows, showing himself through the lattice. My beloved spake and said unto me, Rise up, show yourself. Let me see what you look like today. Show me how you living. My love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth. The time of the singing birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. What is that talking about? What season is that? That's the new year. That's the peaking up. That's the peaking of something. Flowers springing up. The fig tree putteth forth her green figs, and the vines with the tender grape give a good smell. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come. My dove that are in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the stairs. Now that's saying, sometimes love is a little bittersweet sometimes. Sometimes when you're in a relationship and you take some time apart, you learn what it is to truly miss that person, right? You learn what it is to truly say, man, I miss that person. Where you at? Where you been at? You ain't called, you ain't checked on me, you ain't came to see me. Was you even alive? But see, that sparked her interest. Arise, my love, my fair one, to come away. Oh, my dove that are in the clefts of the rocks and the secret places of the stairs. Let me see thy countenance. Let me hear thy voice. For sweet thy voice and thy countenance is what? Comely. Take us the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vines, for our vines have tender grapes. My beloved is mine and I am his. He feeds among the lilies. Now this is key right here. 2:17. What does it say? Until the day break. And the what? The shadows flee away. So what is daybreak? That's light breaking forth in the earth. It's been dark all this time and now light finally breaks forth. That shows you it's a difference between what? Day and night. That shows you it's a difference between the dark moon and that new moon. That new moon, that's that first day, that first slither of light, that first peeking through. Until the day breaks. What happens when the day breaks? What happens when the Sabbath day starts? The shadows flee away. Now say it, right? Hallelujah. And lastly, but not least, well, hallelujah, I don't got nothing more to say. I just want to praise Yahweh. Thank y'all for y'all participation. Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Praise Yah. See, you couldn't make it happen. Couldn't make it happen without Yahweh's people.
Don't forget a song.
Oh yeah, I'm going to give a song. Did any of our elders want to say something? Or give a comment or give a last? And see, we ain't even really get that deep into it. It goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that.
Just want to say shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Happy Kodesh.
Happy Kodesh.
And just thank the Most High for bringing us all here together, safe and sound. Let His will be done. We're saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And I'll go ahead and do a song. Y'all can go eat or do whatever y'all want. I'm gonna do a song either way it go. Y'all can join me if y'all want.
That's how I know she real full, but she eat and be sleep for about 10 to 20 minutes.
That siren just woke her up.
Now she woke up. I had woke up, I had rocked her back to sleep. Yeah. When she eats, she'll cat nap for 20 minutes. I'm taking me a little cat nap. Don't do nothing. Get carried out there. And you tired.
Honor with the corpses lost another billion soldier first to hustle. This we yield, right in the dust. From my DNA and heal, self-regenerate. Serpent king, take his place. Look into my brother Samson, gave his heart the strange. Lashes deliver us, damn it, I will bind in due time. Keep your patience, know this fighter ain't profound. To a diamond, and I know more I was so kind to this little boy. Memories I'm telling you, her love, let she execute. Militant division and blessings to her family. A boy, keep selling, cause this treasure just across the seas. Most high is your presence that we need. Open our reality. Prophesy we win it and our enemies not quitting. All the murders, all the raping, all the hatred. Let the books be open and the judgment take its place. Infinite light, some shall awaken shame, make a tip. People sit if you not hearing this, no one but a gift me, God. But the Hallelujah. That's right, that's right. Primary light of the night, bringing forth precious things. My signs, season, years, days. I will not fail on tomorrow. This shit with the king as a navigation. And Joseph that he ordained gave him rest like 7:17. Blow up trumpet, shadow soul as a slave. Trouble coming from this family. Obeisance of the light shall be ashamed when y'all reigns. Feel I mean, bend the cup, mark the new moon, over spot. 48 minutes to offset, not driven to worship. Divided that by 12, 4 mothers of Israel. 3 fathers starting with Abraham. Time is up the essence, we've been graving in his palms, kiss out your hand. But the sun, pastels and blood staining the moon. Jacob's wife in his trouble shall feel the blood. Circle the light, this roots man's image, centripetal, confusing this purpose. The sign of nature remaining undisturbed unless he yearns it to watch us turn. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Life goes in circles. Stand in your lot like the way for the weary souls taken from the evil devil approach. Time his hands happens to us all. I know your decrees to the lust and trust of our hearts. No speech or language where our voice is not revealed by your creation. Out the mud, I'm acclaimed as a water, so we dwell upon them with explosions like the blame of made a fossil. Batteries array, balance in my soul with good and evil. I'm exalted like a Liam Weston Wayne, thinking future darkness with a governmental purpose. A musical recordist, architect behind this divine science. See the sign, the spirit reflection. My iris praise be the highest. After the covenant, can't touch it like the scriptures to be sealed. From the time of the end, let my son get the carrots and shine my yam. But you're exalted in your glory, dissipate in the forum of heaven and the roller. That's your glory on living water still. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Yahweh requires that which is past. Life goes in cycles and seasons.